I've titled this The Downfall of a Corrupt Mayor when I was writing it, but I don't know that that's what the headline will be for this channel. Welcome to my podcast. As always, there's nothing to see here. I'll just share with you what I have on my heart and some thoughts that have come to me about the demise of this. Well, I used to refer to her as a woman. I'm seeing so much childish behavior. I think maybe I might just title it The Girl That Became Mayor. Anyhow, I don't want to hurl insults. I've never met her. Don't think I ever will. I have given a lot of thought to having, and I'm sure I've said this, I don't know if I've said it on this podcast, but with speaking with colleagues and associates about the matter, I've never witnessed someone been given such an incredible opportunity to do well for a community, to make family and friends and constituents proud, and completely blow the whole thing off. She blew it, in my opinion. You might have a different opinion, but she just completely blew it. And 42 years old isn't old, but it's not young. But I used to refer to her as, when I first caught this story, a young woman, a single parent with an opportunity to do very well and just completely destroyed not just the village and the town. Well, she didn't destroy the township, but destroyed what opportunities she could have had for her village and township and her future. She would have, when you look at politicians in the United States, you notice very quickly and clearly, especially with recent stories, that some of them for decades are making quite a bit of money, doing very well. There are some non-corrupt politicians, however, who are able to make a decent living and to lead a fairly decent life. And it can be a livelihood for those whose intentions are to do well. So I'm truly disappointed. And I can't imagine what I would have done. I mean, I'd never run for public office, but having run successful businesses, I know that there are standards that you must uphold. And I think when your morals and your values are desirable amongst really good people, family, friends, neighbors, coworkers, your communities, then you will be highly regarded and respected. You won't need to scream for respect. Anyhow, it's truly sad, I must say, to watch this girl crash. And I do believe in second chances. I support people who make a mistake, recognize their ability to change and make changes. I believe that with some good counseling and encouragement and definitely a mental assessment, a mental health assessment, she could turn things around. I'm just flabbergasted at the thought of not having a single friend or family member, and I mean, again, I don't know her personally, but you don't have anyone in your life that can call you out on your behavior, your conduct, and how you operate, I wouldn't want to be that person. And I have many family members and friends and colleagues, and is one of my businesses, a friend of mine who is not afraid to voice their opinion when it comes to specific things. It's very important that we have these types of communities, that we have these types of connections. This way, when we cut loose a little bit and go off track, it's good to have a trusted confidant to lean on. Anyway, I'm going to keep this short. There are so many videos and other podcasts out there that will provide you information on Mayor Tiffany Henyard. And as she likes to call herself, Super Mayor Tiffany Henyard, because she is currently the supervisor of the Thornton Township in suburban Illinois. And she is the mayor of Dolton, 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 Illinois. And I just wanted to give commentary on the downfall of what I believe to be a corrupt mayor. That's Ms. Tiffany Henyard. You know, it's interesting. Mayor Henyard once stood as a beacon of resilience, a single mother who defied the odds to ascend to the highest seat of city leadership. Yet beneath the polished campaign speeches, well, I wouldn't say completely polished, because, you know, we've had a thing or two to say about her linguistic abilities, and her ability to articulate herself, or inability to articulate herself, whichever way you look at it. But beneath her campaign speeches and promises of reform, a tangled web of corruption, crime, and abuse of power was unraveling. And as the FBI intensifies its investigation into her administration, it still continues, I think, up to the week of February 10th. It was rumored that the FBI was in Dolton, or the township, asking questions. It's still continuing. But as the feds intensify their investigation into her administration, some, not all, but some of her once loyal supporters are now turning away. You can see that. And her grip on office, or holding office, is slipping as the February 25th election looms. Mayor Henyard's tenure, we all know, or many of us who know, and if you don't know now, you know, her tenure has been marred by scandal after scandal. I actually literally started to write them down a few months ago, and I couldn't continue. There's just too many. Questions arose when her administration failed to pursue a murder investigation. Shout out to the Alicia Wilson and her family and friends. Imagine that. Failure to pursue a murder investigation. When you think about how legacy media will go absolutely insanely nuts when someone dies, whether it be a celebrity, a politician, or a social media influencer, or sometimes it's just, a regular, your neighborhood resident. Why do some families who have suffered loss get more attention than others who have suffered loss? I just absolutely cannot fathom why Mayor Henyard and the village of Dolton has not received, it's received some attention, but not the kind of attention other families received when there's been a murder with no investigation, an outright brawl with accusations, an outright brawl at a public meeting with accusations now flying all over the place. No investigation. Isn't that something? And no investigation, raising suspicions of cover-ups and misplaced priorities. Even more disturbing, a sexual assault case was ignored and continues to be ignored under her leadership. And we all know how that's sparked outrage among advocacy groups. Her public image took another hit. And I don't even know why this isn't being covered. But her image took another hit when gunfire erupted at a resident's home, an upstanding, tax-paying citizen. An incident allegedly tied to her inner circle. And as I just mentioned, if that wasn't enough, or if all of that weren't enough, she was caught on camera participating in a brawl at her Thornton Township Council meeting, further exposing her reckless disregard for decorum and responsibility. You're a mayor, and you kicked off your shoes and pushed the table to go jump into a fight where grown, big, tall men are all fighting. The corruption extends far beyond personal misconduct, though. We know the federal authorities have launched an extensive probe into Henyard's financial dealings. There are suspicions of misappropriation of public funds, RICO violations, and money laundering, allegedly, apparently. Millions of taxpayer dollars remain unaccounted for, and I mean millions, allegedly funneled through shell companies and political favors. I mean, if the FBI is investigating, I feel confident that all this will come to light once they hold a press conference to speak to this. What once seemed like an administration of change has been exposed as a self-serving empire built on deceit and exploitation. And it's not even like these are real gangsters. These are wannabe thugs that are just very irresponsible and sloppy and immature and actually just foolish and dumb. I'm actually shocked for America that any jurisdiction could be run like this. This is an example of a complete mess. Adding to the chaos is Henyard's never-ending promise of bringing receipts And we know that within the last 24, maybe 48 hours, that's uh, that's a that's top of mind for this girl, to reveal some hidden truth. Once again, she's got some hidden truths to reveal. And we've all been down this road with her before. She's always got receipts. And when it's time for her to disclose, she never does. Time and time again, Miss Henyard is caught in lies, misleading the public while failing to deliver any real evidence of anything. And now, as her defeat becomes inevitable, she's turning to social media desperately, luring the public into online battles, I guess is what she likes. Discord, right? She seems to be very taken into and obsessed with negative energy. So I can only imagine if she's going to launch or relaunch her YouTube or online presence, it's to lure the public into conflict. And this is a last-ditch attempt to stay relevant and potentially to make money while she can. This is her last-ditch effort. What a shame, isn't it? I close with this. With her political career in shambles, her re-election bid is all but doomed. The people who once believed in her are now and always has been demanding justice. As February 25th approaches, the village stands at a crossroads, ready to rid itself of a leader whose legacy will be defined not by progress, but by corruption, lies, thievery, and betrayal.